The quadratic equation is shown below. Part A, how many solutions does the quadratic have? What type of solutions are they? So, if I'm just focused on the type of solutions for part A, that means I just care about what's underneath the square root, called the discriminant. So if it's a positive number, I know I'm going to have 2 real roots. If it's 0, I know I'm going to have 1 repeated root. And if it's negative, I know I'm going to have 2 imaginary solutions or complex solutions, or no real roots, however you want to say it. Part B, what is the solution of the quadratic equation? So part A just cares about the type of solutions. Part B, it actually wants the whole quadratic formula. So let's start by writing down our problem and then the quadratic formula. X is equal to negative b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Voice of an angel, I know. Okay, so I know my A is equal to 11. My B is equal to negative 16. And my C is equal to 6. So I'm going to have a negative 16. So that's going to change to positive. Watch out for that. Negative 16 squared minus 4 times 11 times 6 all over 2 times 11. Okay, so if I'm talking about part A, all I care about is the discriminant, the type of solutions. So, negative 16 times negative 16. Let's see what that is going to be. I'm just going to do that off to the side here. 36, 6, 7, 8, 9, 6, 1, 6, 15. Square root of, so I'm going to have 256. Oh, I really don't need that square root, but okay, 256. Minus 4 times 11, I know that's negative 44. And negative 44 times 6, it's going to be negative 264. So, because my bigger number is negative, I know it's going to be a negative. Therefore, I have 2 imaginary solutions. Now, I had a lot of students say just 1 imaginary solution. Don't forget the plus or minus. Because of the plus or minus, we have 2 imaginary solutions. Or if you put no real solutions or 2 complex solutions, I took those answers also. So that was part A. Part B, we actually have to continue with the quadratic formula. So that was part A. Okay. So 16, needs to become positive, plus or minus square root of 256 minus 264 all over 22. And then 256 minus 264. I'm going to take the difference, but the bigger number is negative, so I know it's going to be negative. So 264 minus 256. And I know that's going to give me 8. So 16 plus or minus the square root of negative 8 over 22. I can't leave this radical like this. I know I'm going to have I. And then I can actually separate square root of negative 8. I can separate that into 4 and 2. And I know the square root of 4 is 2. So 2, don't forget the I because the negative. So 2i square root of 2. So I can replace this with that square root of negative 8. So I have 16 plus or minus 2I square root of 2 over 22. Now I know that these are even numbers, so I can reduce. But separate the fractions and then reduce, because I can't just reduce these because this 22 has to be divided by this also. So 16 over 22 plus or minus 2I square root of 2 over 22. I know these are both even numbers, so divide this by 2 and I get 8. Divide 22 by 2 and I get 11. These are even numbers also, so I get 1I, but I'm just going to say that's I, and 11. So I can combine these back, or you can leave them separate, whichever you like. I actually like leaving them separate, so these would be my solutions. If you want, you could also have your positive and negative. So one will be 8 over 11 plus I square root of 2 over 11. And one answer will be 8 over 11 minus I square root of 2 over 11. But if you left your answer like this, that's fine.